What's going on, everybody? Mike Somich coming at you for RacingDudes.com. Here to talk about three long shots in the Kentucky Derby that I think have a shot at winning the race, not just hitting the board, but be able to actually win the race. It's an interesting setup this year. We've got Forte, who's going to be your favorite, sitting there at 5-2 in most future pools and overseas books right now. You've got a couple other Pletchers sitting right around 6-1. Dermasot Gate going to take quite a bit of money, but I'm looking for horses that are 10+1 that I think that can get the job done. And that, to me, starts with Angel of Empire, 12-1 for the Brad Cox barn. This horse has looked impressive twice, once in Louisiana, then in Arkansas, winning the Arkansas Derby. And to me, the key with Angel of Empire is how it's been done in two separate manners. If you go back to that race in Louisiana, it absolutely fell apart. We had a very fast pace, and Angel of Empire able to come from off it and be able to be successful. Fast forward to the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn, Angel of Empire sat much closer to reasonable fractions in a race where pretty much every major contender got a good trip. So you had the best version of everybody running in that, and Angel of Empire still looked impressive, ends up winning by 4, currently sitting on the board at 12-1 to 15-1, depending on where you shop. I think Angel of Empire has a legit shot at being able to win the Kentucky Derby this year with the right trip. All right, now let's take a look at a horse at a little bit bigger of a price, anywhere from 15-1 to 20-1, depending on where you shop. Two Phils. This is a horse that has been one that I've talked about for quite a bit. Ran twice down the Louisiana circuit. Ran it at Instant Coffee the first time, who was a shorter priced Derby horse before what happened in the Louisiana Derby. Ends up running second there. Comes back and runs in the Risen Star. We already talked about Angel of Empire winning that race and how it was a collapse. Well, Two Phils was the only horse that sat close to that pace and was able to keep going. To me, that was just as impressive as another horse's effort, because Two Phils sat about 3 lengths behind that 47 opening half. Everybody else who was that close absolutely quit out of that race. Two Phils able to hold on for third. Sun Thunder ends up running second there. But when you look at the time form number compared to the buyer number, it's significantly higher, because Two Phils is the only horse that was able to really attend to the pace. Fast forward to the Jeff Ruby Stakes, which is on synthetic, not something that I necessarily love, but horse pops a 101 buyer, so we have the highest buyer heading into this race, highest last out buyer of any horse in the race. And yes, it was over synthetic. However, you've got multiple dearth efforts to point back to Two Phils to say, hey, this is a legitimate contender, and you're sitting there at 15-1 to 20-1. Two Phils, to me, is one of those horses who I think will definitely hit the board in the Kentucky Derby, has the ability to stalk close to the pace, which is not something you're going to see from a lot of the major contenders in this race. They're going to want to be coming from off it. In a 20-horse field, having tactical speed is a huge advantage, and that's exactly what Two Phils has. I think he may even hit the lead at the top of the lane and then see if anyone can come get him. So give me Two Phils there in that 15 to 20-1 range. It's a horse that I think can win the Derby, but I'm definitely going to be using in my trifecta and my superfectas. Finally, let's talk about one more Brad Cox horse, and this is a horse I actually cited in the first video I did for 4 long shots I thought had a shot in the Derby. At 66-1 hit show that day was a horse that I thought had a chance to progress forward and be a contender in this Derby's class. And I don't think anything has really changed a lot except for those odds. You're now getting a shorter price. It show right now anywhere from 28-1 to 45-1, depending on where you're shopping. So make sure you look at different outs that you have to see if you can get the highest price here as we get closer to the Kentucky Derby draw. But Hit Show, one of those horses who has progressed, literally gotten better every single start from a buyer's perspective. Wins the Withers 2 back really impressively over Arctic Arrogance. Shouldn't have any issue with the distance. Comes back and runs in the Wood Memorial in a race where everything was against Hit Show. If you go back and you watch that, we break out of the 13th post. First turn, we're 5 wide, literally gets spun out a little bit by a horse. The hind quarters of the horse gets spun wide around that first turn. And then down the lane is sandwiched in between 2 horses that just relentlessly bump Hit Show. He had everything against him in that Wood Memorial, still ran a very, very good second, still improved off of his numbers. And now you're getting a big-time price because of that post position. This is another horse that wants to be forwardly placed. So much like Two Phils, Hit Show should be able to make his own trip with tactical speed, which I think makes a big difference in this year's Derby. So Hit Show is another one where I think it's a really interesting horse to win. 28-1 to 40-1, depending on where you shop, like I said. But a very, very interesting horse from an underneath perspective. One that I would love to slot in that 3rd or 4th spot in the superfecta to really juice up the prices. So 3 horses. that are prices that I think have a shot at winning the Derby here. Angel of Empire, anywhere from 12 to 15 to 1. Two Phils, 15 to 20 to 1. And Hit Show, anywhere from 28 to 40 to 1. All three will probably be involved in my super effect as well when I finally narrow that down once we have post positions and everything else. So make sure you come back, check out YouTube.com/Racing Dudes for previews of every single Kentucky Derby horse, for a live draw show, and everything else you need from a Derby perspective to get ready and try and make some money on the first Saturday in May. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Make sure you subscribe to Racing Dudes at YouTube so that you're able to get all of these videos as they come live. And make sure you're checking out Dudes Who Bet Daily every Wednesday through Sunday, 9 a.m., noon Eastern, for our best bets around the sports and horse racing world. We'll see you at the track.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.